Alright guys, some major news, which I mean the majority of you have probably already seen, but while your boy was sleeping last night, Dokkan decided to drop an absolute bomb, which I didn't think they would do just yet, and they're EZAing TEQ Ultimate Gohan. He is back. I haven't even looked at his details, but he is back. The crazy thing is, he's probably the best aging unit we've ever seen in Dokkan. I mean, yeah, he's aged at this point naturally because he's, what, 2.5, almost 3 years old? And he could probably, if played right, compete in the current meta of content. And now they're bringing him back with an EZA. That makes me believe that the Part 2 LR will end up being either an LR Kid Buu or an LR Ultimate Gohan. And I'm fine with both. Let's go through his EZA details. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. On super attack, of course, he's going to be stacking by 50% attack and defense. Cause immense damage to the enemy and lower attack. He will start the turn with Ki +3, attack and defense +158. The Ki is nice because that's something he's always struggled with. Defense +58%, damage reduction by 30% for one turn from first appearance. That's with guard, by the way. That's huge. That is huge because the one thing that catches Gohan early are those early phases. So having 30% damage reduction for the first turn before he starts stacking, because remember it's by 50% and guard, that's going to protect him a whole lot. Then he'll perform an additional attack which has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. That means he can stack up quicker. I'm here for it. Performs an additional attack which has a 70% chance to become a super attack starting from the turn in which this character performs 3 or more attacks in battle, which if you have dupes in this man or skill ups, he could potentially do 3 attacks in his first appearance, which means from turn 1 onward or after turn 1 onward, he'll be able to super attack potentially 3 times in one turn before the potential system kicks in, which is going to do a world of good for this man's stacking. Of course, the guard, which he always has, attack +58% within the same turn, plus an additional attack +58% for 3 turns when guard is activated, which of course it always will be because his guard is guaranteed. I can't lie, one thing I've noticed immediately, which by the way, this before he transforms is fantastic. Especially because of course his active skill is his transformation, which means you can stack for as long as you want to until you decide to transform him or need to transform him. But the one thing I'm noticing quickly is I feel like this is going to be an EZA LR and Khalifa situation, but tenfold, where people are going to look at this and be like, oh, is that it? Is that all they've done? They haven't really done much. Is he even going to be that good before he's even come out? Which I kind of don't blame them because of how good TEQ Ultimate Gohan already was, which means really, and we've said this for years, they didn't actually really need to do too much to this man's EZA because he was already that good. Like, he is literally the best aging unit we've ever seen in Dokkan. The only thing he struggled on a lot for a while was Ki, and then of course as the meta shifted, the meta changed, early on this man could take a lot of damage. But naturally that's going to happen to a unit that ages. So he really didn't need much done to him, but this 30% damage reduction on turn 1 along with his guard, since that's going to be his first appearance, is huge at protecting him. Giving him an additional off the bat is going to help get this, where he then gets a second additional, which means he could potentially super attack 3 times before you factor in dupes, which means he's stacking his attack and defense up by 50%, don't forget, incredibly quickly. And then if you do have dupes, which I'm sure a lot of you do, that's 4 times in one turn. Not only is that good damage, potentially critting as well, but he's stacking up potentially a ton very quickly. So while it may not seem like a lot has been changed on him, that's because he generally didn't need a lot. So don't underestimate his EZA if it doesn't look as flashy as others. Once he transforms, he'll greatly raise attack and defense by 50% for 3 turns. That's really nice. Cause immense damage with a 70% chance of stunning. He will start the turn with Ki +3, attack and defense +258%. And of course, wherever you stacked his attack and defense up to at that point, guards all attacks, which has always been the best thing about him once he transforms. He will have a guaranteed additional, which combined with this is going to be fantastic. Again, combined with where you've got him stacked up to. And then he will also gain an additional attack plus 58% for the rest of battle, and attacks become effective against all types within the same turn a guard is active, which means you're going to get that permanently because he's always guarding. That attack's effective against all types is all very, very nice. He performs a critical hit when facing only one enemy, which literally the 95% of all the difficult content in the game, you are facing one enemy, whose HP is 58% or more, or when there is a Majin Buu category enemy as well. That guaranteed crit is very nice. That means once he transforms, he has guard, guaranteed additional, guaranteed crit, as long as their HP is at 58% or more, which, I mean, there's some chunky health bars, or if there is a Majin Buu Saga category enemy, which there is an entire red zone dedicated to. So this man is going to have guaranteed crit on one enemy in Majin Buu Saga at all times, which, as I said, is at all times. His EZA is very good. It's insane. Yesterday we were just talking about how Exchange Buu is looking like probably the new best EZA in the game. A day later this man has already been displaced, and he's literally only just come out by, of course, EZA TEQ Ultimate Gohan. This is massive. Like, as I said, I know a lot of people are probably going to downplay him and underrate him and say, is that it? But as I said, this man was so good for so long that he generally didn't need much done to him. Aside from Ki, that was the major issue, which it looks like they've rectified. The only major issue he had for so long was Ki, and he generally didn't need too much changed about him because he was already very good. He was already one of the best aging units in the game, so I am very happy with the EZA he's got. They've sorted out the turn 1 issues where he's very vulnerable with that 30% damage reduction. They've give him some Ki, and they've gave him a bit of a boost in damage, which he definitely needed. Those to me were the main things that needed changing with TEQ Ultimate Gohan, and that's exactly what they've done. But you can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I cannot wait for this man to come out so we can try him out in all the difficult content, and to see the best unit we've probably ever seen, or one of, but definitely the best aging unit we've ever seen in Dokkan, make a return. But I'll see you in the next video, guys, which will probably be a little bit later. I'm literally working on the TEQ Exchange Buu EZA while I'm recording this video, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, have a good rest of your day, and peace.